This morning I want to talk to you a little bit about what we just heard in that gospel lesson. But first, I was feeling kind of thirsty, so I took a drink from this bottle. Can anybody guess what's in this bottle? How do you know? Oh, because it says purified water on the bottle. Yeah? I teach high school. And every now and then, I catch one of my students with a water bottle that does not contain water.
Whoops.
So instead of it being Kirkland purified water, it's actually Smirnoff purified vodka. And they must think that I'm mentally defective. Like I can't tell that they're sitting there drinking vodka. It's not too hard. What's your name? Elizabeth. Imagine that Elizabeth is sitting there sucking down the vodka in class on a Tuesday morning. And I ask her, Elizabeth, can you explain what's happening in our novel right now? And she says, I don't know. So I call on somebody else and I get the answer. And while I'm talking to you, what's your name? Garrett? While I'm talking to Garrett, who's got a really cool shirt, by the way. I teach at Elsinore High School, and we are Tigers. But while I'm talking to Garrett, Elizabeth over here is a little nervous that I called on her and she wasn't prepared. So she went for some liquid courage, thinking if I drink vodka, I'll be brave and be able to answer questions. So now I come back to Elizabeth, and I say, Elizabeth, what is a noun? And she says, a noun is something that we have in our sentences. And I'm beginning to think, either Elizabeth just had a stroke, or there's something nasty going on here. In the meantime, I call on you. What's your name? What? Bane? Bane. Spell it, please. You sit there. Spell it like I need to hear it from all the way over here. B-A-I-L-E-Y. Bailey. Oh, sure. There's a great movie character named after you. Are you George or Harry? Never mind. But while I'm talking to George or Harry Bailey over here, Elizabeth is feeling a little uncomfortable because I called on her twice now and she didn't have the answer. So, more fake water. So I talked to Bailey, and then later on in the class, I come back to Elizabeth. And I ask her a question. But I get no answer from her. Because Elizabeth is... I mean, I'm goofing with you. But that actually happens in my classrooms sometimes. There are people who think that if they drink alcohol, that'll make them brave. That'll make them cool. So the guys think, well, you know, if I have a couple of shots, I'll be good looking to the girls, and they'll want to talk to me. Doesn't work. If you're butt ugly before you drink, you're going to be butt ugly after you drink. Okay? You're just going to trip and fall down on it. But if you're a good-looking stud muffin when you're sober, you don't need that to impress. What's your name? Jesse. Jessica? Jesse. Are you two related to each other? You are. Oh, never mind. That particular romance isn't going to work. This isn't Kentucky. You're all cousins? Wow. Why do I feel like I just started an episode of The Partridge Family? Okay. Or here's a story about a man named Pastor who was doing a children's sermon with my kids. In our gospel lesson, there was a man named John. And he was going around telling everybody, you'd better behave and do what God wants you to do, or he'll squash you like a cockroach. And people began to wonder is this the messenger that God promised he would send? And so they asked him, are you the messenger God promised he would send? And John said, nope, not me. I'm just the announcer. I'm the guy who lets you know that God's promised Messiah is coming. And he's the one who will be able to give you true happiness, not the happiness that comes out of a fake bottle of water. Let's pray for a second. Dear God, you've called for all of us to be happy and to have joy. But we look all different places to try and find that, and it doesn't work. Help us to realize that true joy comes from you. And the people all said, Amen. All right, before you go,